drivers standing by. They want to go green. Let's check in with Matt Yoakum.
Bill, when you look at the big picture, Dale Jarrett's 12th in the championship standings, but he is within the 400-point range of making the chase if indeed today was Richmond. So Daytona play race, do you play it conservative or do you have to be aggressive looking where you are in the championship standings?
That's a good question. What do you think I should do? I'm not sure. You have to be aggressive to a certain point. But then again, this is a big race for us, sitting in 12th and within that 400 points right now. We know that Greg Biffle and Jimmy Johnson are going to do their jobs. They're going to be in the top 10, if not the top 5, week in and week out. So this is a big race. We know that these guys continue to run into each other at 185 miles an hour. There's going to be a big accident. We don't need to be a part of that. So it's a toss-up. I hope my car is good enough that I can just run up front and comfortable enough to do that all night. But this is a big points race for us being in that position. So we need to be around at the finish.
A crew chief change. You're starting to go up that slope as we talk about cycles. Every team has a cycle. Do you feel like you've got enough time with 10 races to go to get yourself positioned for the chase?
Yeah, I think so. Todd Parrott and his guys have been a big help in helping Bill Wilburn and Jason Burdett and our guys to get accustomed to how they were doing things. That's what we needed to do, get the 38 and the 88 back closer to setups, and so Elliott and I could communicate. We're getting that done. We had a good test at Chicago this past week. We're putting a lot of effort into it. We've got some tests scheduled coming up at some tracks that should be very important for us, so hopefully we can race our way into that top 10. I don't think, once again, because of how good Jimmy Johnson and Greg Biffle are, that we can count on being within that 400 points. Hopefully we'll race good enough to do that, but we've got to count on racing ourselves into that top 10, and we have the people to do it. We have the resources to do it, so we're looking forward to trying to do that. And speaking of people, I've got to say hello to Robert Yates, who's not here, I think, for the first time at a NASCAR race since maybe 1960. Robert is not with us at Daytona tonight. He had a little bout with kidney stones earlier in the week, so Robert, I know you're back home watching. It's not where you want to be, but we wish you were here too, but wish you the best, and I'm sure you'll be at Chicago next week.
You have had a chance to race against and race, for so many legendary people, drivers, car owners. How has patience changed in this sport over the last 15 years?
It's changed quite a bit for a lot of different reasons. The competition has gotten a lot more keen, especially here when you talk about the restrictor plate races, and that's where we talk about a lot, people running into each other. But it's not, I don't know that it's a lack of respect. I don't think it's that at all, because everybody out here is a good race driver and there's a lot of respect. What I think it is, the competition is so close that it's put everybody kind of running the same speed. You realize that you don't have that time to wait, so you have to try to make those moves a little bit earlier. The cars are much closer. You can't sit back that much. So, it's just the racing's a lot tighter, and therefore the patience runs a little bit thin. Our fuse is not quite as long as it once was, so that creates some problems. But, that's the type of racing that we have. Hopefully tonight we'll get through and everybody will finish and we'll have a great race for these fans and for NBC's first race this year.
Dale Jarrett talks a lot about drafting partners, and he has a great teammate in Elliott Sadler, who's standing by with Dave.
What do you think? That looks like racing tonight to you, right?
Yes, I think we're definitely going to race tonight. Definitely.
And how are you feeling about that? Now you're back up a little bit. You have to get up for the start, and then you woe down, and now you're back up, getting you ready to go?
I am. It's cool to look at the fans, how they're kind of sitting through all the rain. But it is tough to get all pumped up, go through drivers' intros, where we usually go right to our cars and buckle in our little office that we have. To kind of come back and wait it out is tough. But this is Daytona. It doesn't take much to get a driver prepared or pumped up for this race. And I'm sure as soon as we hear drivers to your cars, everybody will get the adrenaline and the flow going again.
We just talked to your teammate, and obviously a winner here before. How much do you look for the 88 when you're out there on the track?
I think we try to find each other some, but we have a great agreement and a great we work so good as teammates, but we don't put each other in position where we would lose spots. We both understand that if you got to go with somebody else to win the race, you need to do that, and we know that up front. We're definitely going to try to help each other, but if it comes to that time where you got to do something different to try to win the race, then you need to do that. I mean, his sponsors deserve it, my sponsors deserve it. So, but by the beginning of the race, we're definitely going to be looking for each other. I'm going to be definitely looking for him. He's a 4-time winner here. His car is very, very good in practice yesterday, so I can learn a lot from him and hopefully maybe learn some more tonight.
And these days, I mean, are you looking for other blue ovals out there? The Chevrolets kind of out-qualified you guys. Are you going to outrace them?
We're going to try. I mean, Chevrolet has been very dominant in the restrictor plate races here the last few years here in Talladega. So we know those guys are going to work well together. The 24 and the 48, the 8 and the 15. All these guys really work well together. And we got to get up there and kind of find our own little drafting partner and see what happens. I made a lot of friends at Talladega, I think, during that race. And I think we got a fast enough car with the fastest forward qualifier. So we're best in class again. And we'll see what happens. We're going to look for whoever we think can pull us to the front or either can push us to the front. And usually that's what happens. You want to work with Ford guys because you think they'll work with you, but sometimes if you get caught in the wrong lane, you got to go with whoever's fast, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Okay, third in points and no wins so far. How anxious are you to get the W this year?
I want to get a win, Dave, very bad. Not really for me. I mean, it'd be great for me, but my team deserves it. My sponsors deserve an M&M. We just re-signed with them. My team, everybody from the shop to everybody on pit road works their butts off each and every week on this race team. I would love to see them in victory lane. My car owners, Robert and Carolyn, just such great people, and we wish Robert was here with us tonight, but we would love for him to see us in victory lane tonight, and Doug Yates, who I know is working on my Indy stuff at home. So those guys deserve a victory, and I would love to give it to them, and we're trying hard, but most importantly, we're up in the points where we need to be. We want to be a part of that chase, and if my guys keep giving me cars like they've been giving me this year, we got a great shot of doing that.
Elliott locked well into the chase now, looking for his first win of the season, and of course, what greater place than here at Daytona possibly. Bill?
Good point, Dave. Thank you very much. The rain has let up. They continue to dry the track. Tony Stewart starts on the pole. Who shares the front row? That man, Scott Riggs. We'll talk to the outside pole sitter when we continue from Daytona.
I'm okay with it. All the guys on the Valvoline Chevrolet have done a good job, and we know we've got a good car, and I'm sure we'll get shuffled back somewhere, through the course of the night, and I know the good thing about it, I've got enough confidence in our car and our team that I know we're going to be able to drive back up there and be a contender before the end of the race.
All right, can we talk about some of the news of the week briefly? Your team ownership of Valvoline is going to split with your team at the end of the season, and your status for 2006. Do you have any clues at this point as to what's going to happen for Scott Riggs?
I don't. It's something I'm really not putting a lot of thought in. Everyone here at MB2 has been great to me, and Valvoline's been great for the entire team, and it's been a good separation. It's something that Valvoline's been looking to do for about a year, I understand, so it's understandable. At the same time, I'm sort of looking at all the different options. I know Jay Fry and everyone here are working hard at trying to figure out which of the several options we have to be a primary sponsor for this team for the future, waiting to see how that pans out, and I think it's going to be very positive, very strong for our team, and I think it'll be good for Valvoline where they're going.
All right, so what will you do to wait out the rain and be ready to race when the time comes?
Just try to take in as much this air conditioning as I can. Try to be relaxed, try to think about all the different kind of scenarios that we're going to go through, and just hang out and be ready, and hopefully this rain will get stopped pretty quick, and we'll be able to get this thing underway.
All right, good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Alan.
Scott Riggs from the front row, opportunity to make his first win here at Daytona. Marty.
Hey, Alan, the really good news, it's actually stopped raining out here, so that's the good news. I'm with a young Kyle Busch, and you're in the market for a restrictor plate Lucky Charm, aren't you? Well, you have not had any luck at these races, have you?
No, I haven't. I think the best finish I had was a 4th last year at the Busch race at Talladega. That was it. So I think I'm 1 for 6 or something like that.
In finishing?
In finishing, yeah, pretty much.
It's not good.
No, it hadn't been good. But, the cheese at Kellogg Chevrolet was pretty good this weekend. We went out and drafted a lot and then, tried to make some runs and see what it would do and whatnot. And it was all right. I mean, there's not much really you can do here. We just tried to make it suck up a little bit better in the draft and things like that, but that was about it.
What's the hardest part about learning the draft? Is it getting used to guys bumping you from behind all the time? What's the hardest aspect of the draft?
I think the hardest aspect of the draft is to get somebody to draft with you.
Yeah, that's especially when you're a rookie, right?
Exactly. That's the hardest part of it because I was out there in practice. I was running around, jumping in line with guys and stuff like that. And then they'd go somewhere else and everybody would go wherever the 5 car was. So it was like,
it's not, yeah.
Come on, just help me out here. I got a good car. It's good enough where if I had some people push me and stuff and get behind a good car, we can make it to the front. So last night was definitely a good race for us too. I was able to push Brian Vickers up there for a while and get his lap back, and then we were coming back through the field, and then the big one happened. So ask Matt Yoakum how his pants are.
Yeah, what happened with that? I heard Matt got a little wet this morning, didn't he?
Yeah, my guys were coming in the track this weekend, and I heard he was doing the live shot, the countdown to green, which was at 2 o'clock this afternoon for whatever reason.
Correct.
And
preview show.
Yeah, okay. And Yoakum, I guess, was standing there doing an interview or something, and they just drove right by a puddle and soaked him.
Oh, no. They wouldn't do that to Matt, would they?
Oh, yeah, we'd do it to anybody. If it was you, we'd do it to you.
No, you wouldn't, would you? I was waiting for them to open up Matt's mic, but last night's near wreck for you. It was an interesting evening last night as well.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I feel real bad for Carl Edwards, because I know he's in the points race and he's trying to win the championship after missing a race, and I got real loose through the trial over there, and I was trying to save it. I was hoping the trial would come to an end before we ended up spinning out, but I got down on the 8-car fender, and instead of turning him the wrong way and just causing a huge melee, I just barely nipped him, and as I did, I turned my car off of him, figuring I might be straight by then, and it wasn't. It just got a big old wag and ended up spinning out, and then Carl knocked me straight and went for a heck of a slide through the wet grass there, so it wasn't too fun for him, but at least he was able to save it and continue on, and we both made the big wreck later on anyway, so I guess it didn't much matter.
You and your crew chief, Alan Gustafson, have done a great job on this side, the Cup side, of meshing together quickly. Did that surprise you in some ways?
Yeah, in some ways it did. I mean, I've been able to work with crew chiefs for some reason every time I've been with a new crew chief pretty well right off the bat, and just being able to come out here to the Nextel Cup Series and be able to do that again just makes it that much more special, because it is so much harder to do that, especially at this level, and to run up front and all that kind of stuff too. So to be able to work with Alan and everybody else on the team has been great. We're just trying to knock through the door to get our first win. Once we do that, hopefully many more will follow after that. But right now the main goal is to try to survive Daytona if it stops raining, and go on to Chicago, Loudon, and Pocono, and try to gain some points there. I think we still have a shot to get in the chase, so we might be able to do it.
And when we get started tonight, you start 32nd. So what's the plan? Do you hang in the back and let the big one happen in front of you, or what's the plan?
I'm sure Junior's going to be going to the front, but I might as well hang out in the back.
You can tag on that 8 car. That usually works pretty good.
Yeah, but see, every time he gets going through the field, it's like every car he finds, he can suck right by that one. So I can't even keep up with him when he does all that. So it doesn't much matter. I don't think anybody can keep up with him. But I don't know. We might as well just hang out in the back. We tried that at Talladega. It ended up being all right until the big one happened. That was when I was on my way to the front. So maybe I'll wait a little bit longer tonight to make my way back up to the front. But handling here makes such a big difference. Guys can get strung out for such a long ways, and guys will actually run single file. I was in the back last night running around, and I saw that. It's like two car lengths to another car, 2 car lengths to another car. It's like, man, that would be easy running up there. Nobody's over anybody.
Exactly right. Hey, Bill, even more good news. The dryers are on the racetrack as the rain has stopped.
Yes, they are, Marty. That is good news. Thank you very much. There's our holiday parade. Jet dryers attacking the track here at Daytona. Skies clearing. We're waiting for the start of the Pepsi 400. When we come back, a look at 2 of the most powerful organizations in NASCAR racing.
Bill?
Thanks, Matt. The dogs back in the motor coach, and the fans coming back into the speedway, anticipating the green flag in the Pepsi 400. I've had a good week down here, had a lot of fun, but no one has more fun at the racetrack than Wally Dallenbach. Why? Because he lives in this special place. It's called Wally's World, and one of his guests on the long list of guests for Wally this weekend, Lisa Marie Presley, and it was Wally hitting some sour notes in his State Farm insurance car.
Welcome back inside my Wally World car, where I have another special guest, Lisa Marie Presley. She's going to be singing her song, Thanks, a dedication to the fans here at Daytona. Lisa Marie likes 2 things. She likes getting speeding tickets and roller coasters. You like roller coasters?
Yeah, generally I do like roller coasters.
See how you like this roller coaster, so hang on. Here we are at Daytona. Love to be back here at this cool racetrack.
Oh my God.
Here on the backstretch. I can't hear what you're saying. I hope you're not saying stop. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting some program. They want us to check some debris up here in the corner. No, it looks pretty good, so let's continue what we're doing. How about singing a little bit for me? What does that mean?
Boy, Wally does have a lot of fun. And Lisa Marie is supposed to sing thanks from her CD to the fans here tonight. Obviously, that has been somewhat delayed by the weather.